Seems like every week with the Battle for Azeroth beta, we're getting new models, some crazy new updates, new changes for what's going to be happening in the future. And one of the things that I have recently seen and that's been released are the PvP changes and how things are going to kind of work in Battle for Azeroth. And I'd like to talk about the PvP system Blizzard is designing today and give you guys a nice little preview of what to expect. So let me explain to you how it's all going to work. So first and foremost, there is now an option on your talent screen to enable a thing called War Mode. Now, War Mode is the same thing as flagging yourself for PvP, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So let me explain. Above the War Mode button are a list of talent choices that you can choose from to use. Now, the first is your basic PvP trinket and some other passives and whatnot, but the rest are spells, buffs, and you can choose whatever you want. In total, you get 4 choices, 4 ways to make your character more powerful, to buff them. And no, you don't need to rank up or anything to unlock these PvP talent choices. You have them right from the beginning. Now, upon choosing your talents and activating War Mode and all that stuff, these talents and buffs and so on will activate as long as you're in the open world. It's a permanent buffing of your character. Now, when I say that it's a permanent buffing of your character, I mean it's a permanent buffing. If you have War Mode turned on, and let's say you have Greater Pyroblast selected as a PvP talent skill, you can use that spell while in the open world. You could use it for leveling up, doing world quests, or whatever it is you want to do. Like, go slaughter some turtles with that thing. You do what you want. It doesn't just have to be against players. Now, you also get another special buff, a very special buff if you have War Mode turned on, where you have a, I believe it's a 15% experience gain bonus while you're leveling up to 120. Now, I don't have a character at level 120 yet, so I'm sure this turns into something else upon reaching max level, I would think. But here's the thing. Sure, you're all buffed up and whatnot. You got these new spells. You're more powerful. You're more powerful than the average Joe, but you're now flagged for PvP, and you can be killed by other players of the opposite faction. So the system, quick recap, works like this. You become more powerful. You get more buffs. You get that Greater Pyroblast. You get that 20% damage increase to whatever attack. But you can be killed now. As long as you are in the open world, you are now a target. And the question is, are you willing to take that risk for more power? So what happens if you kill a player? I mean, what is the incentive to go out and kill somebody other than to ruin their day? I'm glad you asked. So let's say, for example, I'm killing some boars and you come up behind me, you're a rogue, and you kill me. All right, what happens? Well, by killing me, you will receive 5 conquest points. 5. Now, if you manage to kill me, and I believe 9 other people without dying, you will become a horde or an alliance assassin. And now you're not just worth 5 conquest points like every other player, you're now worth 25 conquest points. Now, what can you spend the conquest points on? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I assume gear, mounts, pets, titles, tabards, transmogs, whatever. So guys, you guys have been watching me for a while, and you know that for years on this channel, I've talked about how much I love World PvP, how much I love the unpredictability of it, going out and fighting over resources and quest mobs and stuff. I love that. Raiding towns, villages, all that stuff. I love it. So what do I think of this new PvP system and how it super encourages World PvP? You guessed it. Obviously, I think it's fantastic if you are a PvPer like me. You see, at a lower level, like 110, when you're questing through Zandalar or Kul'Tiras as a Horde or Alliance, you can use the War Mode system to level up faster. You get the experience buff. Your character becomes more powerful. You can kill mobs faster. But even at max level, people have a reason to turn this thing on. People will be doing world quests. They'll be grinding reputation. They'll be doing who knows what at level 120. So even at 120, there's a reason to keep using this system. There's no reason to not have war mode turned on. It's just, are you willing to take the risk? So I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. It's a great way to really bring out the battle for Azeroth, which is what I really want to see. But there are people that play WoW who are PvE players. They don't care about fighting other players. That's not what they do. And so I'm a little curious, how are they going to react to this system? Because if you're a PvE player and you're like, I hate PvP, I don't want to fight another player, like I'm a passive happy druid, you don't get that experience buff. You don't get the buffs to your character. You don't get any of that. So you're just kind of, you're going to fall behind everybody else, the PvP players, I guess, because of the fact that you're not willing to turn on war mode. But I don't know, maybe the fact that the PvP players are fighting each other, they're getting killed and stuff, it kind of slows them down, and everybody's kind of, you know, moving at the same pace. I mean, I don't know, like we'll have to kind of see what happens when the expansion comes out. I do have one other concern though with this system, and it's just a matter of what are the rewards going to be. I don't want it to be like this, for example, when the expansion comes out, within a month, a player like me who loves doing PvP, I will have the full set of gear, the mount, the whatever it is they're going to reward with conquest points. I want it to be something that's going to take time. It's going to take a long time, kind of like the prestige system took a long time. I think it almost took a little too long, in my opinion. I mean, it took fucking forever, spamming battlegrounds and whatnot, but whatever. The point is that I just don't want us to be able to run through this conquest point currency system too quickly. I want the PvP to last for as long as possible. Essentially, I don't want to see world PvP in the first 2 weeks of Battle for Azeroth coming out, and then people like me, oh, I got my gear, oh, I got my mount, I got everything. No reason to turn on war mode anymore, aside from, you know, having the buffs when I'm doing world quests and stuff, but I can live without that, so I'm not going to bother with it. But what do you guys think? Especially you guys who are not really PvP players, because I'm very curious, does this system, if you've never done PvP before, if you're not interested in PvP in the slightest, does this system maybe encourage you to PvP a little bit? Are you kind of like, that looks interesting, maybe I should try that out? Because I'm sure that Blizzard is trying to breathe new life into the WoW PvP scene all the time, so bringing players like you into the scene is obviously something that Blizzard would appreciate, and as people, you know, I appreciate it too, because I like having more people to fight against. So yeah, either way guys, thank you for watching and listening. Leave your thoughts down below if you've been playing in the beta like me. Maybe share some of your experiences, and I will see you guys on a new and exciting video very soon. Yeah.